By the end of this video, you'll be able to select students by hand who cannot be grouped by any search. Here's the situation. You are an administrative assistant for a large K-8 school. Siblings Natasha and Weston Baker had been attending your school earlier this year. Their mother had received a job offer and they moved to Nova Scotia for a short time. However, the family has moved back into your school's area and you now need to re-enroll the two children. You know that their records are still in Power School. They've just been inactive. Beginning at the Power School start page, click on the Power School logo to refresh the page and you're ready to go. You need to find Natasha and Weston Baker in the database. Typing Baker in the search field and clicking the search key should work. Were you surprised that the only Baker that came up is Ariana? Let's return to the start page. Remember that the search was only for active students in the database, and since Natasha and Weston were withdrawn earlier in the year, they are inactive at the moment. You need your search to include inactive students. If you're ever having trouble with searches, remember that by clicking on this question mark, a handy reference guide for searches is opened up that may help you out. It offers help with search fields, comparators, and provides useful examples to guide you as needed. Scrolling down through this reference, you notice the section on search prefixes. A useful prefix for our search would be the /. Using the / at the beginning of a search command will include all students, both active and inactive, in that search. You are pleased with what you have learned and now know that you're on the right track. Typing / Baker into the search field should return all active and inactive students with the last name Baker. You are happy to see that Natasha and Weston are now listed along with Ariana in your current student selection, and you can now work with them. Because you only want to work with Natasha and Weston, click on the Select by Hand button. As the name implies, you can directly select the students you want to work with. Notice that all the Bakers from our search have been selected as indicated by the check marks located beside their names. You can select and deselect students as needed in this view. You want to work with Natasha and Weston Baker, so check them off. Click the Update Selection button, and Natasha and Weston become the current selection, which is what you want. Now you can re-enroll Natasha and Weston, but you can only do this one student at a time. Select Natasha. As expected, her record indicates that she is currently transferred out and she is not enrolled in any classes. Take a look at the enrollment section. Selecting the Functions key will bring up a list of useful enrollment-related tasks that you will use on most days. For the Bakers, you want to re-enroll them in school. Check that the name is correct, Natasha Baker. Fill in the date of enrollment. You always choose the first day that the student is starting back to school. That's going to be March 24th. Entry code. Click on the arrow to drop down the menu. Because the Bakers are moving back from Nova Scotia, we'll say entry from another province. Entry comment. You can type a comment here. Moved back from Nova Scotia. Full-time equivalency, yes. Because Natasha is returning to school during the same school year, we'll keep her in grade 5. Restore class enrollments. Yes means that the student will be scheduled into the same classes as before. Selecting no will mean that the student will have to be rescheduled later. Because there's still room in that class, let's leave it as yes. Submit. Now you see that Natasha Baker has been re-enrolled. If you check her schedule, You'll see that she's been rescheduled in all her classes as well. Because you have both students selected, click on the forward arrow to work with Weston. So if we scroll back up to the top, click here. Again, we see that Weston Baker's transferred out and he's not currently enrolled in classes. Now, as you did with Natasha, you can repeat the enrollment procedure for Weston. Click on Functions, Re-enroll in School, and you can complete the form as before. Congratulations! You've successfully selected individual students by hand who could not be grouped by any search. This helped you to complete the task of re-enrolling the Baker children.